I read issue 12 of the Master Edition of the official Handbook to the Marvel Universe, starring Silver Surfman and 23 other characters whom I am trying my best not to spoil for myself by squinting my eyes. So this part, tearing them out, this part is hard if you try not to focus on them. Most of them come out easy. Every once in a while though, there's ones that are kind of difficult. Like this one here, I think it's the one in the middle. Last one's always a pain in the arse as well. So that is all of them taken out, and now we're going to look at who we have gotten. Zorro. We're kicking things off with a character from Powerful Man and Iron Fist. Someone I only recognise from their ability to appear right at the start of any Handbook. He is always one of the first entries, no matter which version of the A to Z Handbooks you're looking at. 82, 85, 87, 06, 09, 11. Really, I have never read a comic with him in. If you want to know more about him, I suggest you ask Robert the subscriber down below. Cena, Warrior Princess, a pun name, C-Na. Clever, aren't I? Well, it's better than Native New Orca. She is a member of the New Defenders and a chosen bride of Seth. I do think it is crazy that she got a profile. This woman who was on the Defenders for like 4 issues at the end, but Velcro and the Cat never get profiles in the Master Edition. I think of all Peter Gilbert's lousy Defenders characters, she has the most going for her. Our first mega hottie, Felicity from Spider-Man. This is our first profile we have gotten from this series so far, of what I would say constitutes as one of the hottest characters in the Marvel Universe. I think Moonstump was holding the title of hottest one we have gotten so far, but now we're straight in at the top of the list. I think there's only 1 or 2 characters that can steal the title from Felicity. There is her back, her details. From the pages of Jeff Parkman's Thunderballs and 1 page of Captain America the Bloodstone Hunt, it is Doc Century. Bane, also from Jeff Parkman's Thunderballs, and introduced in Captain America's Bloodstone Hunt. Wish I had more to say about him. There is his reverse, his data and stats. D-Spear, star of many fill-in issues. Created by Christopher Clairvoyant and Jason Byrne. I don't mind D-Spear, I like the design, and I like the retcon of who he is, that nobody ever mentioned again. Vixen from the Excellent Men, or at that point, from the Baddies. She is the only one of those early Extra Factor villains that gets a profile. The Alliance of Evil. She is the only member that gets a profile in the Master Edition. Big Thunderballs member here. I think we have also completed a team by now. We have got nearly all the founding Thunderballs members. This is Atlas Man, and it was a bit of an intended pun when I said big Thunderballs member here. Well, it's better than Native New Orca. I'll get out all the ones I already have at the end, and we'll put all these teams and whatnot together, and do our look at my stupid fanfiction story. That is his back. Surprised there isn't a picture showing him growing. Hello. He is a Khazar enemy. He is one of Miles's henchmen. Interesting thing is that those henchmen, we get 2 of them, and the third and final one never makes it into the Master Edition.
The only card I need is the Ace of Spades! The Ace of Spades!
Don't forget my dad wrote that song for his audition to be singer for Motorhead, according to him. And this is literally a piece of card too. It is the only card I need. Well, it's better than Native New Orca. Ace of Spades is among the select few who received 2 entries across the stretch of this 36-issue series. He received a redesign after this, and so he got a new entry. I'm glad we got the classic, iconic Ace of Spades first. There's all his information. Cognac, one of the Unhumans. I feel like, so far, I think we might be doing alright for Unhumans. We have blue balls and tripods, don't we? Another one to go with them at the end. Tom Hiddleston. This is a great one to get. Some Fairyland characters are essential for my story. And we got 4 last time, and now we're getting Tom Hiddleston. And this is... Why this costume, I wonder? Was he even looking like this anymore? This is like early Simon Waltonson design. But even Simon Waltonson changed it. He had the less complicated design with the smaller crown part thing. And then Tom Falcon simplified it even more. I'm not complaining. This is Tom Hiddleston. Doesn't matter if the design isn't exactly what he was last wearing. This is good. No one is mistaking this for anyone else. And this is his profile. The weirdest thing about this series was, and it's something that I have come to love about its potential, it was designed to be unending. It could have ran for longer than it did, and part of that is, even early on, we are including characters who had been dead for quite a while. They didn't rush in and do all the popular ones straight away. And so you have Scourge victims who were completely irrelevant by 1991. Watch your bums, everyone. It's Mr. Ainds. The sodomizing Mr. Ainds. Violent bugger boy Mr. Ainds. He is so unhinged and violent that he cannot help but rape or cannibalise anyone who comes close to him. He's also another Jeff Parkman Thunderbowls member. Getting a lot of them in this one. His data and statistics are all wrong though. It makes no mention of the copious amount of male rape that he performs on people. Smurf from The Excellent Men. Now, I have both Smurfs from The Excellent Men, and I might have to finally reckon with the fact that I don't have unique names for either of them. I call them both Smurf from The Excellent Men. This is his back. Don't let Mr. Hind near it. Something I do hate about this series is the amount of teams, bottom rung teams like this, where not only do the rubbish characters eat up a spot in the issue, but by the end we still don't have their team complete. When we don't get major characters like Sieve, Thor's girlfriend, but we get this loser from the Savage Land, it feels like a joke. P had recently in the news for his parties, his dodgy parties. I think the Serpent League of America will kick him out, and he has been cancelled due to the allegations. Usain Bolt. I definitely will have called this character Usain Bolt. I don't even need to think about it. If I didn't call him Usain Bolt, I was derelict in my duties. What else am I going to call him? Mo Farah. Sebastian Coe. I hate Sebastian Coe. Big Chris Morris fan. I don't think I've mentioned him before. Santa-ish, Doctor Strange enemy. I feel this is... I love Neil Pollard's art for this series, but there are a couple of characters along the way where he doesn't quite nail it. I feel is Santa-ish. It's too thin, too slender. It needs to be a bit beefier. The main attraction, Silver Surf Man. No bores. There was meant to be, when they announced this series, there were like 3 other titles that never happens. One was meant to be objects, equipment and weapons. Elliot Brown was the main mastermind of that. There was meant to be a locations one too, like places in the Marvel Universe, team headquarters, that sort of thing. Elliot Brown again. And then finally there was meant to be an appendix, which was a much, much expanded version of what is at the end of each issue of Conquest of Champagne. Those 3 other things never got done, so it stands out when you have a reference sheet for Silver Surf Man, and if you were using this, you wouldn't know about his surfboard. That was World War II, they call me! This series was temperamental about which World War II characters they would do. The rules seemed to be if they were in Invaders, they were game. But still we never got Tonto, Hugh Monfire's partner. He never gets a profile. Neither does Dynamite Destroyer or Patriot Man. Taurus. It's meant to be like I am naming him after the Pokemon, but it just sounds too much like the actual name of the character when I say it. This is another one though. I think he is the only member of the Zodiac that gets a solo profile. That's fine because he is the one with solo appearances. Ankh Scorpio, if you count him, he gets 1 too. Infinity Man, Drax. When the Forever People come together, they make Infinity Man. Now here's a character I don't think ever appears much of anywhere. Have you read any comic with this version of the character in? I haven't. I'm only looking at the back to learn what she was in. Marvel Comics presents There's a Reason You've Not Heard of This Character. Although she is in Brie Larson's Granddad's Amazing Spider-Man. And obviously she was in that Captain America story with all the female supervillains on a boat. So that's all of that issue done. We have some new characters to add to our collection now. No Avengers this time, which only strengthens my belief that the team we have is quite solid and viable. I pointlessly put the Avengers together again, even though we don't have anything to add to them. Just for the sake of it, let's go through them again. Captain America is the leader. Smurf from the Excellent Men. Falcon Man. Mockingbird. The Flash, one of my favourite Marvel characters. She-Hulks. And finally Thor. I think it's a good enough team. Then we have got Thunderbirds, which is a team very near and dear to me. We are adding Atlas Man to what we have so far, which is Song Girl as the leader, Fister, Moonstump, Plant Master, and Radiation Dudes. Piada joins our Serpent League of America, but then he would get kicked out for grooming Justin Bieber. So far, our Excellent Men team has been a bit rubbish, but with the addition of another Smurf, and I suppose Vixen, it's starting to look like a team. Smurf, Cannonballs, Dark Star, Fork, Vixen, the other Smurf, and Fetish Fuel. I hope we get Squealy soon. Who else would I like? Cyclist, obviously. Emma Frosty's. She is in the final issue. The final profile in the final issue. They must have gone, we're ending it here, we cannot top this. I suppose the Flash, one of my favourite Marvel characters. He can be on the Excellent Men too. Now we still don't have a Defenders so far, but we now have Silver Surf Man and Cena. Now here's the thing, without Velcro and the cat, I think Cena can work as a substitute for them. I know I've got Hulk in one of these waiting for us. When we get him, it might start to feel like a team. I don't know. Doctor Strange might be a requirement, or Batman at least. And chances are good I have a Batman, because he gets 2 profiles. One for his Defenders version, and one for his Justice League version. Now here's one. Invaders. We have some, and I'm not even including Captain America, but I think we have a possible team here now that we have got Fire Spit. I'm thinking Plastic Man leading a new team of invaders, like in New Invaders, including Fire Spit, as mentioned, Louise Simonson, Super Patriot. I didn't say it was a good team, did I? No Man, and Super Sabra. Not enough for a team, really. It doesn't feel like it has much personality to it. Although we do have Goldie Age Vision. Oops, I spoiled that retcon. We have got 3 members of the Inhumans royal family. This one surprised me, but we do have the lineup for the original Bastards of Evil. The team as they appeared in Avengers issue 6. Darth Knight, the evil one. Meltzer, I'm sure I've got a name for him, but I cannot remember it. Radiation Dude, and then the Human Top. We have completed our Zodiac, because this is all we're getting. Now, let's do SeaWorld Attacks 2, Fairyland Attacks. A made-up story that only exists in my mind. We have got some characters in this that are important. Cena, the thing I said about her on the Defenders remains for Fairyland Attacks. Velcro would be nice to have in Fairyland Attacks, but you could also say she is in Fairyland. So the Defenders would draft Cena as a temporary replacement. She also ties it back to the original story. She was a bride of Seth. And I don't want to feature all 7 of the brides again, but her, I think, is alright. She can be directly tied to characters or teams involved. So it makes sense to build on her connection to Seth. D-Spear, maybe, possibly, is among some of Seth's allies in attacking Fairyland. Seth has made alliances outside and beyond his own pantheon and his worshippers. I think D-Spear, well, Seth is one of the Death Lords, and I have to point out every time that the Death Lords are not to be confused with the L-Lords or the Fear Lords, although some of them cross over, like Cate Blanchett is both a Death Lord and a L-Lord. Well, D-Spear is a Fear Lord. So I think the 3 groupings of lords are a pool of gods and entities that Seth could reasonably dip into for an alliance. Hello, I don't know about this one, but Miles, and therefore his 3 Gooners, they are possibly Seth army members too. I don't know. I am eyeing Kazar as a main character in the story, but I feel like these characters would only be there because Kazar is in the story. Tom Hiddleston, he is 100% in Fairyland Attacks, and he's not going to be a villain. He will be untrustworthy and duplicitous, but he's not going to be working with Seth this time. That would be a repeat anyway. He is fighting on the side of Fairyland, but constantly looking for an opportunity or a chance to seize power or rulership for himself. P. Adder. Maybe the Diddy shit can be in SeaWorld Attacks too. I have said the Serpent League of America are in this story. They are hired by Ursula to infiltrate and take control of Project Cadmus, because Its ground has been touched by Seth in Spider-Man Team Up Annual 5. Well, when it comes to Project Cadmus, we also get one of 2 characters I am putting in charge of Project Cadmus. Ace of Spades is now doing what was once Kazar's job at Project Cadmus. Unfortunately for him, he will be jobbing to the Serpent League of America. Silver Surfer is a tricky one. I very much want to compensate for the bad writing of him in the original SeaWorld Attacks. He selfishly releases the sword on Earth and then shrugs his shoulders and says that it's Earth's problem and that it doesn't concern him. The SeaWorld Attacks What If issue resolved that by having Silver Surfer get involved, having realised how out of character he was. I think something like that is in Fairyland Attacks. But the problem remains, Silver Surfer opens too much of a door for cosmic characters like Galactus Man or Eternity, and things like that can just shut down all conflict in the blink of an eye. This is quite unsatisfying, but right now you have just pretty much got the ending of Fairyland Attacks right here. This versus Seth. I wonder if these 2 characters have ever met. I'm sure you are all wanting to know about any such occurrence tomorrow. Let's celebrate another issue of the Master Edition unpacked and added to my stack of cards. I'll give this helping a 7 thumbs up.